Hey guys, this is Eddie, and I just got my Framework laptop. This is the Framework 16, as you guys can see. I got the 7040 series. It's actually a 7840 HS, sorry, it's a Ryzen 7 RX 7700S. That's the built video card. So this one actually has a dGPU, and just came in today. I don't know if that was a date. That looks like a date, but I guess not. I'm using this just to cover up my address. So I'm gonna start trying to quickly open this up. Like the unboxing and setup, kind of an experience along with me. Like I said, I typically do this for me. Oh, that's interesting. Was fast though. I mean, first of all, I pre-ordered this back in July of 2023, and today is March 22nd. It was shipped on the 21st. And by the way, this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm using a webcam pointed out on my desk, so hopefully the quality is good or decent enough to use. But here, this is what it looks like. Oops. This is the laptop that's doing the recording. Well, okay, so it's like a little envelope. It's almost already falling out anyways. Oh, okay, we got a patch on the other side. I guess, it's get iron on. I could put it on my book bag. Interesting. It's kind of a guide, it looks like. Shows you about the camera, microphone, power, basically where everything's at, all the expansion ports. They'll probably even tell me like what the limitations are for those ports, regulation stuff, different languages. That's kind of cute. Oh, stickers! That's kind of cool. More stickers. And a poster. I don't know if I can fit it all in the frame, but that's the poster right there. And of course nothing on the other side. Doesn't fold or anything. And is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's all that was in there. So, I'm gonna put everything back in. My last laptop purchase was that System 76, if you guys remember. So, okay. This looks like it's the keyboard. I'm gonna pull everything out and just place them aside somewhere. Here's the bezel. I did get a numpad. Two spacers. I just got the basic black, I think. I got the screwdriver tool here. It looks like they just kind of tape it down with two little clear circular tape. As you can see, it's got a spudger at one end, and I think they said this is a Torque T5, and then I don't know what size this is, but it's a very tiny Phillips head on this end. And here's the T5. These are all of my cards. I got two USB-A's, two USB-C's, three more stuff. Got the audio expansion card because this laptop doesn't have a built-in audio jack, unlike the Framework 13. Display port and HDMI. Place them over here. It's a cramped spot. On this end, we have the USB-C cable. USB-C to USB-C. Says even here 240 watts, it can handle that, and there's the QR code. Framework is famous famous for their QR codes, although some people say not all of them work. There's another one with the QR code. Oh, my camera's getting chuggy, I'm not sure why. Oh, did it crash? No, that sucks. I will stop recording and I will resume in a bit after I fix this. Okay. I don't know why that happens, by the way. And there's one more thing over here, and that's the charger. Ooh, it's actually pretty heavy. Now, this is about the size of my just a little bit bigger than most typical 65 watt laptop chargers I have for the Dell that I have here. That's my work laptop I'm using, as well as my other laptop. However, it is heavier than those, so they really packed a lot, I guess. You guys can see all the little writings. If not, it's supposed to be a 180 watt charger. And right now, Framework is the only one with a PD USB-C charger at 180 watts. So, now that I got everything off of there, oh, this is the laptop itself. It's huge, and it's actually more rectangular than, you know, I guess you would say square. It's more square than most widescreen laptops, because this one is a 16 by 10, even though that is a little taller than widescreen. Well, so there's the UR codes. Get started guide, Windows installation, Linux. So even though this is already kind of a taller screen anyways because of the 16:10 aspect ratio, with the added GPU, oh, it's just more squarish than anything. So I'm going to put this aside for now. There's some more stuff down here. Alright, so this one is the interposer for the expansion bay, the blank expansion bay. Ugh, I can't say anything. That's because I ordered the blank one too. So as you saw, that one on my laptop, I have the GPU. It's already pre-installed. But this one is just a blank expansion bay shell. So it's actually, I'll open this now. As you can see, it's really nothing but just the fans. That's if you ever decide to not use your GPU, or if I decide not to use my GPU, and I just want cooling instead. This will make the laptop a little more smaller and lighter too. This is actually pretty light. So I am going to put that aside as well. I figure if I don't like the GPU, I can always use this and then I'll try to sell the GPU. And if I do like it, I have the shell just in case I need it for anything else. But anyways, that's it. There's nothing here. Hold this. I think that's it. That's the bottom of it. Yep, nothing else. Everything is just cardboard, so everything is recyclable. You can probably break it down and very good packaging. So that's it. I'm actually a little worried. I'm surprised they actually had this in the box. You would think that if you do it like this, it would be more likely for people to like want to steal it or something during delivery. All right, star of the show. That's what it looks like on the bottom. There's even a QR code. The paper wrapping is nice and thick. It almost feels like a paper bag kind of material, even though it's kind of like a frosted white and not a brown paper bag. And you don't have to tear it up like a brute. You can always just carefully tear it up and save it for you to use later if you want. Oh wow, this is a lot thinner than I expected. I was expecting this to be a chunky boy, but it'd be big and surprisingly thinner than I thought. Okay. I'm gonna put this aside. So, can I even get the ports in the camera, in the view? Oh, it feels premium actually. Okay. So these are the locks supposedly, right here. You can even see it locking those things. Okay. Oh. Wow, this lid is tough to open, but that means it's rigid, which is nice. The plastic protector. And I know a lot of YouTubers show this, but they never describe this. But this is actually a lot thicker than I expected. I thought it would be a thin piece, but it's, even though I can flex it, it's actually a lot more rigid than I expected. Alright, so this is where the interposer would go. And right now, of course, it's already pre-installed with the GPU. I'm gonna leave it there actually. So okay, yeah, the seams aren't perfect. I can definitely feel the seams, and you can even see the seams. Not a big deal. Can be for some people, I guess. The trackpad is actually glass, and it's actually pretty big. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, they wished it was bigger, but I don't know, we'll see when I get to actually using it. Gotta pop these out, these tabs out. You'll see the orange, and then I'm supposed to be able to slide these back. And there you go. Popped out one. Pop out the second one, so you can see what it looks like on the bottom. Of course, the key touchpad. A lot heavier than I expected. This is an aluminum piece, and so are these. Is it aluminum or is it magnesium? It feels heavier than aluminum, but it could be because it had all the electronics. So, oh, you guys are not going to be able to see this, so I'm going to try to get this closer. This is what the deck looks like. Up close. You can see the people's names. Their team. Another QR code. Over there. So this is the mechanism that locks those things in place. You can see. Okay. Yeah, and the interposer. Let me get it closer. Oops. And I showed you the interposer for the regular fan. This is the interposer for the GPU. And it is different interposers for the two different bays. I'm guessing this one actually has the PCIe lanes, whereas the other one is just for power for the fans. Alright, so this is a DIY model, as you can probably tell. I forgot to mention that. And I also forgot to mention, I did not buy an SSD or memory from Framework, so I got my own. I specifically chose the Solidyne 2TB P44 Pro and these Ripjaws DDR5. They are 5600 mega transfer, and more importantly, this is CL40, which is the fastest timing for JEDEC standards. This does not support XMP or Expo or anything like that. So the fastest memory you can support is 5600, just a JEDEC standard, and CL40, as far as I can tell, is the fastest or the tightest timing for JEDEC memory. And nothing else, right? Yeah. I already opened up the SSD. Here's just the booklet for it. Alright, so first thing first. It's mostly together. One here, there's a little cable release. You can even see it has the number 1 on it. I'm supposed to pull up. There you go. It's free. And now I'm supposed to just go in order. I don't know if you guys saw the numbers. These are captive screws. So you don't have to pull them all the way out. It just stays there. So there's 2, there's 3. it is. The black screws, not the silver ones. 4, 5. Get something in. Here's 6. 6, 7. And by the way, the reason why they have a very specific order is to distribute the torque, I guess, or the pressure. Kind of like with your wheels on your car. That's 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. There's a lot of screws. Oh, come on. Is it this one? 16. 17. Come on. Get in there. All right. Let's pull it out. Is there a spot for it? Oh, I'm just using the tabs because it's the only lever I got, and it comes off easy. There was no force. You can also see the pogo pins for all of the input, like the keyboard and the trackpad and all that stuff. Numpad, all the other stuff with interface right there. And here's the other side. So the cable I removed, that's it right there. It's basically to interface all those pogo pins in this little bus. I would call it a bus right here. And on the other side, it's just the pogo pins. And just, it's going to be hard for you guys to see because it's a fisheye lens. I guess this webcam that I'm using is a little bowed so you can fit more, just kind of like an ultra wide on your camera, on your phone. But it is bowed slightly. It's not exactly straight. But I do notice that, I don't know if this was before or after complaints about keyboard flex, but I can already tell they have these, maybe we can see it better. I show you like this. Do you see the little foam little pads? Yeah, they kind of stick out a little bit on the bottom there. This one and this one. I'm wondering if that's to help with the flex. I also notice right here you got a little blue strip here, and I'm guessing this is to interface. Yep. I'm putting down so I can see. Yep, it interfaces with the storage here. So I'm guessing it's so that it will provide some heat dissipation for your SSD. So I'm going to bring it closer so you can see what the inside looks like. There's your memory slots. Your storage is right there. It actually has 2 NVMe card slots there. Let's see if I can get on the other side. It's hard to do it on the camera. So that right there, from this slot to that screw, is your standard 2280. It's 2280 or 2280, I'm sorry. But it's the 80 millimeter one. And then this NVMe slot just underneath is the tiny one. This is the length. Oh, and where is it? I just realized I actually bought both. And as you guys remembered, I actually tested a Micron is it 2280 or 2380 again? I don't know why I'm blanking on this now. I'm getting used to just those numbers, and I can't say it in front of the camera. But when I repackaged this, I actually packaged them both in here. So here is the Micron. Oh, focus. And that's a 2 terabyte one. And then there's the Solidyne, the standard size that you guys all see. Okay. And I'm going to start putting those in. I don't know why I'm blanking, but I really do believe it is 2280 and a 2240. Oh! So these screws are not captive, by the way, these tiny ones. But there's also a little blue film here that I can remove to give this SSD some more cooling, I guess, to dissipate more heat. There's the CPU, by the way. Sorry, let me get that out. There's the CPU, heat pipes. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. No, this is the CPU. What am I doing? What is this? This must be the chipset. I think that's the chipset. Oh, I'm enjoying this. It's just, I'm just marveling, so excuse me. There's the speakers. 2 by 2 watts. There's the fan, and of course here is the Wi-Fi card. It's Wi-Fi 6E, but it's not the Intel one. This is the MediaTek. Oh, that just looks fun. Alright, first of all, I know for a fact I need RAM. I'm a little contemplating on how I'm going to do the the memory. I forgot to mention 32 by 2, so I got a total of 64 gigs. Got them during a sale, the Black Friday, just before Black Friday. Amazon seems to be a lot cheaper just before Black Friday, and then they raise the price up, and then on Black Friday they lower it back down, but even then it's never the same as before. Oops. So if you only had one stick, you only get single channel memory. Stick it in this side first. This is slot 0, this is slot 1. Let's see. I said to myself I was going to install Windows first on here. So I'm gonna stick this one in first. But just for the sake of showing it on camera, you can definitely, and I'm going to peel this off when I'm ready to permanently install it. But so this one you can't do on an angle, so you actually have to shove it in straight like this, if I recall. Let me see. Yep. Yeah. Oh, there's a little tab here. I wonder what that's for. And of course I would screw that down, and then of course I would put this in, and that screws on top of that. So that's how that goes. Okay? But for now I'm just gonna, I want to install Windows first and leave out the smaller drive so it doesn't cause any issues. Oh, yeah, so this is pressure fit. This one is not angle fit. That's a little difficult. I think I got a splinter somewhere. It's hurting my thumb. Alright. I got the memory in. I'm going to put the Solidyne in. Actually, let me put this screw back in because I don't want to lose it. Okay, so it's not magnetic. So you have to be careful. It's not magnetic. All right. So I'm probably not going to be able to do everything in front of the camera because it's going to take forever, but you're going to most likely have the drives in here. Right now I'm not going to have both because, like I said, I want to install Windows on here first. Pull that out, stick the little one in, and then install Linux. And once I'm done, then I'll put this one back on top and I'll just dual boot using the firmware, you know. For now, I'm going to go ahead and pop this back in. I'm not going to screw it down. I wonder if this will work without screwing it down completely. Just so I can install the operating system. No, I don't think so. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to install both of them. And then I'll deal with the consequences of software. Oh, I forgot. I gotta take this. All right. Peel this off. This is PCI Express 4, so is the other one, but that one is a QLC, so it's not going to be very fast. That's the one I just benchmarked earlier. And this is supposed to be a faster drive. It's 7 gigs a second. Somewhere along that line. It's a PCI Express 4. Actually clean up the top a little bit. It does look like it has my fingerprints on there. Okay. Alright, that's basically it. Like I said, it's mostly together already, and if I ever want to take it apart for other stuff like replacing the batteries, that should be pretty easy too. I'm just not going to do anything like that right now. Like the speakers comes off, there's screws, it tells you which one to remove. Same thing for the battery. The battery doesn't even have a cable. If you look at there, that's actually friction connected. So it just goes like that. Whereas the framework 13 is a cable, just like what you've seen in most laptops. And there's your interposer. I'll keep that for now. Okay. I think that's all I have to do for the internal part. So now I gotta remove this. Back on here. There's one. Okay. One is the connector. And then this very first screw is actually labeled number 2. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, 6, 7, 8 is over here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Okay. So, next things on the list. The keyboard, as I showed you earlier. That's on the other side. Okay, so it looks like it is taped down, so I need to a knife or something. There we go. That's just the cardboard box. It's compacted like this. Okay, here we go. Here's the keyboard. I only got the standard English one with the Windows key, and it lights up, but it's not RGB. Here's the other side. And there's your pogo pins on this side. And I'm going to, since I got a numpad, I'm going to put it right on the left side. Wow, magnets. Let's see. The next thing, where's my numpad? Oh, there it is. very well packaged. There's your numpad. And those are the pogo pins there. So the keyboard looks like the pogo pins are attached to this, and there's really nothing here. This is just more of a tab. Or is it? Let me check. Yeah. Oh, no, the pogo pins are on this side. Never mind. And these are just for structure, I guess. Okay, so on YouTube people are saying there's keyboard flex. I don't feel any flex at all. The keyboard actually feels pretty good for me. And I'm pushing it pretty hard and I don't see any flex or feel any flex. Oh, the desk is even moving. So, no, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Now, I think I'm gonna like it. I mean, I can always change this, but I am under the impression that I want to have my touchpad to be in the center. Now, I don't know why, but it's not going down completely. It seems to just kind of jets up a bit. I don't know if that's normal. Yeah, it's not flush. I don't know what's up with that. Well, here's one of the spacers. Oh, you know what? No, I'm sorry. This spacer is for... I'll just open one of them so you guys can see. It's a blank spacer. You got pogo pins, but I don't know what for though. So this is the black one. Basically it goes... If I wanted to center this, I would have one here, and then the other one over here. More like this. If I decide not to have a numpad. And honestly, I think I might not want to have a numpad. You know what? I'm just going to keep it for now. One of the reasons why I use the numpad is actually more for the enter key. Spacers. It's time for the aluminum spacers though. Yeah, so fit and finish not all that great. It's popping up around here. Let me see if I'm gonna lock this in place. You see that? It's not flush. And I will give you more of a closer look here. From the side it doesn't look that bad, but if you look straight on, you can see the gap, right? Look at that. Can be shifted. If that's gonna bother you, that's gonna suck. Alright, so now for the bezel. So this is it right here. How do we open this? Oh, okay. Oh, I broke it already. Oh well. I was hoping to open this without ripping it, but I already did. This one I can recycle because I'm not going to keep as shipping packaging. Alright, so this is the other side. There's down on the bottom another framework number and QR code. And here's what looks like on the other side. You can see all the magnets. I don't know if these are magnets or just metal pieces for the magnet to hang on. I think the magnets are actually on the lid. As you can see more of them there. And there's the camera hole for the webcam, and these are the switches right there. They're not physical switches. They are like a light. It blocks a light sensor, and it uses that sensor as if it's blocked and it's off or on. I don't remember. It's one of its states. So that's it. It just kind of snaps in. Magnetic. There's no adhesive. I know in the framework 13 on the bottom there's a little bit of adhesive that you actually have to peel off, but I didn't see one over here. So for you framework 16 people, there you go. Alright, I'm going to peel these off. These are the little covers for the cameras and the mic. Is that two cameras? Oh, never mind. One of them is a light sensor, I think, for the screen. Because I know for a fact that framework does not have Windows Hello, so it does not have an IR. It doesn't have an IR detector. So, there you go. Right there. And these are the switches. Alright. So here's the power button. It also doubles as a fingerprint sensor. Now these are the cards, the expansion cards. So there's the USB-C. It's just USB-C on this side. I'm going to close this. Oh, closes with a nice satisfying thud. Let's see if I can get this. So USB-C here. You guys see that? Slides in. Make sure this switch is open. You know what? I use a cardboard to just have something so it's not right on my desk. Alright, so same thing for this. Again, another USB-C. You want to put them towards the back according to their instructions. Wait, that's a USB A or C? No! Oh, never mind. Sorry, my bad. I thought I had the C. This is the A that I was showing you. This is the C. Okay? Oops. USB-C is towards the back. USB-A, either, I think it's towards the front. I'm going to rearrange them correctly once I am done over here. Just for the sake of getting everything together in front of the camera. Here's the audio. Another USB-A. I don't know where's the best place for it now. Like I said. But if you go to their website, they do tell you. Wow, there's a lot of garbage piling up. But they're all recyclable DisplayPort. Now I do have an extra one, the HDMI. So there's the HDMI. And as you can see, I already used up all of my slots. So I figure I'm going to keep this one in my book bag in case I ever need to connect to an HDMI. Now a lot of people go, this is more ubiquitous, so why not just get this by itself? But HDMI actually has limitations compared to DisplayPort. It's kind of like universal or best spec. I chose primarily DisplayPort whenever I can, and I'll fall back to this, HDMI if I have to connect to like a television or something. Alright, I need a place for all this trash. So, let me move this all away. Alright, and so I've locked them already. You saw that? Holy crap. This feels solid. I don't know why people say they, I remember Dave 2D said that, it feels, because it's put together, it feels not as solid as most laptops. But I feel like it is. It feels quality. Now this is going to be the first boot. So I don't even know if there's going to be any charge to the battery. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Turn it on. Oh, you know what? That's right. If I recall, for the very first boot, you do need to be plugged into power. So I'm going to undo this and plug this in, okay? So how long is this? This is about, so the AC part is about 3 feet. And this USB cable, I want to say it's about 6 feet. So you have 3 feet plus 6 feet, and then another maybe like 4 inches up because of the brick. All right. Here we go. I'm going to plug it back here. It's on. Let me see if I can turn off this light. As well as this one. Now they did say that it takes a while for memory training. So I'm going to be patient here. And again, I am live. So Let me feel this, because I see that this one is darker than the other side. I thought it was deeper, but running my finger along this just feels the same height, so. I'm getting a little worried. I see a little dust there. I don't hear the fan though. Alright, time to ask the internet. Interesting. So, some people are saying that they needed to reseat the memory. Sometimes they have to do it one at a time. So I'm gonna try that. But I have to be facing this way. I'll try to get it as close so that you guys can see it too. Push and hold this to turn off. You know what? I'm going to try it again. Let's see if this... No. Alright. Now I wonder if it will let me turn on without the mid plate and all this other input stuff installed. One of the things I would like to do, especially when troubleshooting and setting things up for the first time, is to be able to access the interior easily. And if I have to keep, that is one thing I did not anticipate, was how difficult it must be to keep having to get in and out of this thing. Whereas most laptops, right, it's just some few screws and then you got the bottom plate and you're good to go. Here you have to take off all of this stuff and then you gotta, there's a lot more screws here. Well, although I will say some laptops will have just as many screws on the bottom side, so alright. Wait, will it turn on now? Oh my gosh, it will turn on. I see some lights. Red, blue. Let's see what it says. Alternating red, blue. Alright, well, I guess I just ran into a problem. I was hoping I would not have any issues, but I guess I'm one of the users who does. Now I've heard people saying that they were having some problems with the very first boot. I'm just hoping I wasn't that one of those people. Alright, I'm just gonna pause for now. Alright, so I didn't know if I mentioned it. There was 16 screws total. It's numbered up to 17 because the first thing was the little cable connect that's labeled 1 over here. By the way, it's feeling very warm on this side. Alright, I'm going to try to reseat these first. Actually, let's try, I'm going to reseat, but I'm going to try with just the one on this side. Let's see what happens. And with boot, without the mid plate. Fan's not even going. I'm going to try to turn it off. Alright, it's okay. And again, this is the one in there. I'm wondering if it requires the mid plate. So I'm just going to have the mid plate on, plugged in, turn it on. And that's just with one memory stick. Now I see red, blue. There you go. Alright, I'm going to input modules not detected. Alright, check this out. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll bring this down a little bit. So it's giving me instructions and stuff on the bottom. So it's really cool. It's actually really graphical. I like that. So it's not like plain Jane text. I feel like they actually put some thought into the interface. Alright, so power off long press. Okay, so I'm going to power this down. It even says here, if I want to continue booting, even without the inputs, I can skip it by just pushing the power button once really quick. If I want to shut it down, it says to push and hold, so I pushed and hold. But now that I know it boots with this memory in, I'm going to put the second one back in. I'm going to reseat this one. one more time. Okay. One more time, I'm gonna plug this in, turn it on. Let's see if it shows anything on the screen again. Maybe it just doesn't like having both of them in there. Yep, I'm gonna turn it back off. Call me impatient, but I wasn't feeling that. So if one of them worked, I'm kind of wondering if I swap them, if this one's on this side. Let's see if this one on its own, if that will work. Crap. I'm wondering if it's just a bad memory module then. Oh, no. Hey, so it looks like it only works on on slot 0. That's not promising at all. Alright, well, we know this module works, we know that module works, and both on this side. So let's see if I only put it on this side. Oh, by the way, I noticed that there's a pad over here too. This is raised higher than this side. So I'm guessing that's for the keyboard, to make it stiffer. Yeah, they added a lot more padding here, so that's good. Alright, I'm going to try it with just the one on the other side. We know the memory works. I don't like the fact that I think it requires this cable be plugged in. I really hope not. Okay, no, they both work. Interesting. Maybe I'm just not being patient enough. Maybe it just takes longer when you have both because it is testing both memory. That's most likely what it is. Well, actually, before I add it, we know it works. Let me see if I can leave this out without the mid plate and see if it actually posts. It does. Okay, so I don't have to keep pushing it. Whoa. There's a grub? There's Linux? Oh, you know what? I think it's because I installed Linux on... I didn't know I installed Linux on there. Okay, so good to know. You do not need the mid plate connected, which will save me a lot of connection and disconnection cycles. And you guys too, now that you know. Alright, I got both of them in now. And, hold on, let me see if I have a keyboard I can use. I'm gonna pause this really quick. Alright, so I got myself a little dongle here. And I'm going to connect it up to one of the USB-A. There you go. This is the keyboard I have. And so, I know you guys are not going to be able to see it, but I'll turn it around for the interesting bits. Alright, I'm going to leave it with the two. This is the first time I'm booting it up, knowing that they both work on both sides. Oh, there you go. Oh wait, no, I don't want you to boot in. I want to go into the BIOS. Maybe it just needs to be, is it delete? It's not delete. F1? Well, it is booting in. I'm going to boot it in. I might as well. My password. Now, I don't remember what drive I installed this on. And there's my login prompt. The resolution is high. Oh my. 59% on the battery already? Oh, Wi-Fi is detected. The Wi-Fi card is detected, which is really nice. I don't remember where I installed, on what system I installed Linux on here. Let me go to disks. It's the Micron. Okay, so it's this tiny one that I installed it on. Interesting. I'm probably going to reinstall it, of course. Just to have a fresh install. I don't remember, was I testing this on something? I don't remember. 165 hertz. It sees it. The screen resolution is 2560 by 1600, which is 16 by 10. Adjust for TV. Really? Aha. Alright, so it just kind of shrinks the picture down a little bit because it figures your TV will have some overscan. Alright, so it boots. But now I need to figure out what button to press to get into the BIOS because it doesn't show. Let's see, framework 16, how to get into BIOS. Technically it's not the BIOS. F2. Okay, that's why I failed, was because I was thinking it's delete. Let's see, let me lift it up so you guys can see at least the top of the screen. Okay, weird. Seems to be hanging. It's trying to shut down, so I just forced it off. Now I don't know if I have to hit F2 or FN F2. So I'm going to do both. There we go! Alright, I'm gonna turn this around so you guys can see it, hopefully. Oh, come on. Bad angle. Oh, and bad lighting. I hate this camera. Okay. Might have to do another video, or you guys can watch another YouTuber or something. I'm sorry. Continue. There's your boot manager, which I plan to use to get in and out of different operating systems in dual boot. And if you have an EFI file, you can just boot from that instead. Administer secure boot. So that's for secure boot. I'm moving this around so you guys can see because it's hard to see when it's highlighted yellow. Set up utility. I guess that's your my general setup. Hit enter to go. So let's go in here. Okay. It detected the memory 64 gigs. Let me see if I can go this way. I don't know why it shot me all the way in the bottom, but there's my specifications. It even sees the built-in graphics, the iGPU, which is a 780M, 8-core, 16 threads. I wonder what version is this. Right now, I think 3.03 is the newest. Does that say about the software? Oh, inside. Okay. So let's see, advanced, iGPU, memory, auto, horsepower for input, monitoring, Linux compatibility, Windows. I gotta play with this. I think I was told I can leave this in Linux compatibility mode even if I'm using Windows. So I don't have to keep coming back there to switch, because if you're a dual booter, this is going to be trouble. Okay, power run. What other settings I got there? There's my 2 SSDs, a Micron and the Solidyne. Exit. Alright, well, I'm sure you guys seen how to install your favorite operating system. And this is me, I'm a mess. So I'm not going to bore you with that detail. But suffice to say, I'm going to button this all up together and then I will install my operating system of choices. And also set up my firmware the way I want it. I'm just going to turn it off right now and button it up in front of you guys. So, I'm surprised it's blinking. Actually, you know what, before I do that, let me, I didn't have to check to see if the, okay, the fans are spinning, good. I'm going to turn it back off. That's another thing I wanted to check too, because I heard some people say, or maybe one user, saying that their laptop seems to be working, it's just, they realized that it was overheating and they found out it was because the fans weren't spinning. Right. Number 1, connected. You know what? You guys don't need to see this again. I'm going to pause this. Alright, so I just screwed this whole thing back down. Alright, do I really want it on here? Now I'm recontemplating. I wonder if I should put it back in the middle. Do we need a numpad? Well, I guess I can always add it back later. Let's do the middle one so you guys can see what that looks like. So I already opened up one of the spacers. I need to open up the other one. Come on. Alright, so this is the other one. And basically it's just going onto the sides. Here's my dongle. I'm gonna put it back on my other computer. the other dongle. I typically like keeping packages for returns and whatnot. Oh wow, that is so not cool. Okay, so what I'm feeling here is that this at this end is flush with the keyboard, and as I slide my finger down, the keyboard lifts up a little bit. So, oh, never mind. It's flush now, so maybe that was my problem before. We'll see. Alright, so, next thing is, there you go. Same thing. It's like it's more flush down here, and as I move my finger up, you can feel it kind of like incline up. Now I don't know if that's the way it is, or I really like this better because this is more equal. Yeah, it sucks that you have gaps, but it's not as bothersome if it's equal. Except this is having like it being on one side. We'll see. Sometimes form over function, right? I might like having this if I find myself entering a lot more numbers. But that's the nice thing about a laptop like this, is that you can configure it however you want. Alright, so it's now locked in place. I'm going to plug it into the power. If I can find the plug, here it is. I'll turn it on. Just want to see if it boots at least. Yeah, boots a lot faster. Okay, keyboard is working. And since I have Linux already installed, I might as well boot into it. There's the boot menu. Fedora is on the Micron, so I'm going to hit enter. I want to test the touchpad. That's why. I want to boot into an operating. I mean, I already have Fedora on here, so mine as well, right? I'm going to test the keyboard and the touchpad. Let's see. I forgot you guys can see that. So I was worried that this was going to be too big, but while it is big, it's not as unwieldy as I was thinking. Yeah, it is big. It's not as thick as I thought it would be. Alright, keep settings. Oh, the display looks great. Alright, where's the touchpad? Touchpad settings. Alright, so maybe now I can lift it over. Yeah, it's going to be upside down though. I want to do test settings because I want to see the scrolling work. It does. And it's smooth and it's 1-to-1. It feels like it's 1-to-1. Single click. Double click. Multi-gesture? Yes! Gesturing works. 3-finger straight swipe up and down. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to have a good time with this. I'm going to reinstall Fedora fresh. Then I'm going to install, actually I'm probably going to install Windows first and then Fedora in case it messes with the EFI. But yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm going to actually get some dinner and then, wait a minute, did I? Yeah, and then I'm going to probably set this up tomorrow. It's one of those things where as I remember, like, I know when I was a kid, when I was younger, once I get something new, I obsess over it until the wee hours of the night. So as an adult, I just don't feel that need anymore. The whimsy is gone, right? So I just wanted to put it together, make sure it works, it boots, how it feels, because everyone keeps saying it, Oh, let's see if it lights up. It does, okay. That's the brightest right there. Actually, while I'm here, let's go check the settings in Fedora. Can you do... Oh wait, these buttons right here. Yes, they do. Screen brightness. Airplane mode. Is this settings? I don't know what that is. They don't have one for the keyboard, so it looks like the brightness settings that you see here. This is not software controlled, I don't think. Now on other laptops, like my Dell that I'm recording on here, there are buttons for the keyboard adjustment lights too, and when I use those, there's a visual bar that goes across. So Fedora does see it as a setting that you can adjust, but I don't see that here. So it looks like the adjustment is is self-contained. Okay, still good to know. Alright, and the trackpad feels great. Let me see how it clicks. It feels good. I was worried because some people were saying that it was catching. It's a springboard type of a click mechanism. So it's tough to, it's impossible to click up top. You have to click towards the middle or the bottom for it to register. And some people were saying that it was getting caught on the bottom, so it was feeling like a double click. You would feel a snap as you push down, and then you feel the regular actual click. I don't have that issue, so that's good. Again, this is not the speakers. This is actually the intake, and the speakers are actually on the sides. I don't know if I showed you guys that. So there's the speakers right here. There's the air ports for air. I don't know if I showed you the back here. More vents, and that centerpiece that is a USB-C is actually the display port output for the video card. It's connected directly to the video card. It also serves as USB 2.0. So I'm guessing it can be used for like your VR headset if you have one, or if your external monitor has a touch screen. Okay, I think that's really all there is to it. And I'm just curious about myself. PC. Let me see. Can I make this bigger? Let's see. Preferences. Column spacing, text. I've never had to deal with changing the font size. I don't think you guys can see it anyways. Can you? It's upside down though. I was basically doing a listing all of the PCI devices, and I wanted to show you guys the what it sees. Is it LSUSB? Oh, it is. So this is what it detects for the USB devices. And if I recall, it actually detects this whole entire input deck as USB devices, I think. Although I did read somewhere that the touchpad was actually considered an I2C or something like that. So I don't know. Oh, there it is, keyboard module, USB. Interesting. Shenzhen GoodX 2.0. I wonder if that's the camera. But, anyways. Pink Sardine. USB 4. That must be a code name. Oh, there's the video card right there. 77S. Alright. This is getting kind of long, so I am gonna leave you be, but this is what it looks like direct on. And yeah, I think I'm gonna like this. All right, guys, I am heading out to get some food, and I believe I'm pretty much done here. So have a good night, and I hope this wasn't too boring. Feel free to skip around. All right, bye, guys.